Hey, welcome to my second men's mental health blog or vlog. So I just thought I'd give you a bit of an update today. I'm back in my home. I've got my microphone plugged in. I've lost my voice a little bit from screaming into a pillow, which I'll talk about in this video. Yeah, again, it's not scripted. These are very pure where I'm coming from. Had a range of emotions today, as with any day. I feel like I'm learning what I need to process each emotion, and it's not about like anxiety. Don't want that. I'm getting rid of it. It's not like I'm angry. I'm getting rid of that immediately. No, because if you suppress emotions, I've learned they just come back harder. What it is for me is the most healthy way of processing each one. And particularly, I'm going to talk about anger today because I'm feeling it a little bit, but I've just got rid of about 80 to 90% of what I was feeling. And again, it's not suppressing. Don't suppress emotions. That's what we can tend to do, and I've certainly done in this world where it's like, oh, go get a drink, chill out, go, drugs, go and scroll aimlessly on social media, do something, that's going to distract you from feeling the emotion. When actually it comes back harder and it's stored in your body and makes things worse, I've learned. And I've got years and years to work through. Instead of actually feeling it. And today, what I felt is this morning I woke up and I was a little bit anxious. I must admit, like, I feel like I've lost something potential, but it was the idea of something that I lost in my mind rather than the thing itself. And then that, and then waking up, but I'm coming back to being in a regulated state a lot quicker, which is really, really good. I'm saying again, I notice. This is the first time I'm back in my flat since last weekend as well, last Sunday, when I was in probably a fight or flight, life or death feeling situation from some of the wounds that came up from getting a voice note from someone that I talked about. That brought up a lot of wounds in my previous video when it didn't work out with someone, and it wasn't that so much, but it was more sudden, like the high of happiness and joy, feeling something was really great, and on my path, doing everything I feel like I'm doing, and then suddenly it was all taken away from me. But sometimes life, as Les Brown says, life be lifing. And again, like if you look on the surface of the situation, it's more like what kind of got brought up in terms of the wounds underneath it, and it's me doing my stuff. But yeah, today I woke up with that feeling of that loss a little bit again, and it made me a bit anxious. And then I was doing my meditation, Joe Dispenza 17 minutes, and I've been struggling. The first day I did it, it's typically when you start something new. Like the first day you do it, it's really great, and you're like, I can't wait to keep doing this, something healthy. And then you kind of tail off, but the consistency is the key. The discipline is the key. It's like starting a podcast. I see it many times when I help people. They start it, and then it's like, I'm excited, and then it's like they tail off, and creating systems to help them keep doing that. For me, I just kept doing it. Sometimes you just need to do that and not listen to your mind and make it as easy as possible to do. But yeah, like I struggled with that meditation this morning. I felt very down, a little bit depressed, if I'm honest, a bit like helpless in life. And then I got onto the train and something really boosted my spirits because I decided to ask how much is, and I was scared to ask. There's like a part of me that's like, maybe it's a stupid question. I'm going to be perceived as stupid. And I care a lot less about what other people think of me than I did years ago, right? I'd like present in front of people. I make videos like this. I will ask strangers questions on the street and stuff like that. Not too invasive. I'm just, that's still something to work through. But and anyway, I think most people would struggle with invasive questions of strangers on the street. I was though, I went up and I said, look, I've got a return. Could I get a first class ticket? How much would that be to upgrade? And the guy was like, you do it on the train, it's £12.50. And it's actually a very simple question. So I went on the train and upgraded to first class. And I was like, yeah, power move. Granted, it was only an hour journey, but I felt good to treat myself to first class. even though it's not like it's not bad, but it's not like luxury. It's not like Virgin Atlantic first class on the plane or anything like that, but on our train systems. But anyway, I did that, and then I was on the train, and then I was like listening to binaural beats, and I felt I got into that harmony, and it's good. I've experienced this daily, even when not on coffee or anything like that, because coffee can give you that hype, and then you kind of crash down. Although I was having some coffee this morning, but like I've been into that frequency of love, and it's the most beautiful feeling I can ever experience. And it's like unconditional. It's like I'm not upset about what so and so did or that happened or this situation. I'm in that state of calibrating at love. And a lot of people might watch this and think, what the hell is he on about? But there'll be some people who watch this and know what I'm talking about. When you're feeling into that real high frequency. And it's kind of like a spiritual thing as well, which I never used to be. That I used to be completely left-brained and logical minded. Anyway, I was in that beautiful state, and it was great. And then I was walking. I got home. I got to the train station. I didn't get home, and then I was walking back, and there was the half marathon in my city, and I just couldn't get home because all the routes were cut. Like the roads were shut, but I didn't have a car, so I didn't worry about that. Even walking back was a challenge, and I was getting really, really angry. I was getting wound up. The negative thoughts started coming back about this recent situation, this dating situation, and then of it not working out, and all these kind of things started going around in my head. And then it's like, why suddenly it's all been taken away? Why should you change? And it's completely up to the person. But going down this negative spiral loop, and yeah, I then was getting like angry from a mix of things and not being able to get home. And I got home, where I am now. Eventually, I found a way. I kept persevering, which is what one of my best qualities in life is: resilience as well as courage, facing things and continuing to go. One of my toughest things is being myself and having fun without external stimulants, which I'm working into now. But yeah, I got home and I was just full of rage and anger at this point in my head, in my body. And when you've got that emotion in your body, your mind, I feel, can't think its way out of it. It's like we talk about journaling and having a good mindset, and I'm just going to call this out. That's absolute bullshit. So I'm going to be very real in these videos. I get really wound up now about quite a lot of the guidance and personal development. It's fucking shit. Like, oh yeah, journal your way out of these kind of things. Oh, think positive. It's like, put yourself in a good state. And it's like, it's fucking ridiculous when you're like, your body's, let's say I'm getting angry now. It's just like, people can be so, I'm not saying stay in it. I'm not saying we want to be down all the time, but I'm saying we need to process emotions. It really pisses me off. It's like you need to feel emotions. Stop being this like, let's get in a great state and then push away the negatives. Whilst I'm all for feeling good, because that's definitely a better way of going through life, you need to feel your emotions. Like, and yeah, that's kind of the guidance given. I'll go on a bit of a tangent here. And I'm not saying stay that, like, I definitely don't stay angry. Just definitely don't stay anxious all the time. Definitely don't stay depressed and stressed all the time, 100%. But as a human being, we need to feel emotions, not push them away. And that's what I've been doing. And it's just so much better than be like, I'm going to feel good. Like one of my main mentors, all he literally teaches is you to interrupt your pattern. It's like, where's the feeling in it? It's like people just need to be a bit more considerate about other people, I think, and like actually what people need to feel. I was having a great conversation with my really good friend the other day, and she was saying me and her are like on the same wavelength about this. And she was saying, I won't go too much into her story. I'm not going to share anyone's stories, like unless they ever gave me permission. She was saying she felt she was dismissed from her situation, and I'm not going to share her situation because it's hers. But she was saying this to a group, and this was like an expensive group, and they just completely dismissed what she was feeling. That's bypassing. It's shit. Like, And this is like also the problem I feel when I'm very selective about who I talk to. I had a lot of people reach out. Thank you very much. I know you're well-intentioned individuals. But in all defense, quite a lot of you, I don't want to fucking talk to because you can't fucking listen, right? And I'm just being real here, right? And if you're watching this, you're like, I shared something with someone and they've not heard me correctly. And that's not a fault of them. That's just something they've not built that ability to sit with you and listen. Don't talk to that person, right? If someone doesn't make you feel good when they offer to listen, like I've had people really close to me, like care about me, and I know they genuinely from the heart care about me. But it's like they don't have the ability, and it's no fault of their own, right? It's just where they are, just where people are. You got to love them and then leave them sometimes. I have really close mates that are like, I'm always here for you. No, you're not. If I share something with you, you're going to project your ideas onto me, which, by the way, is usually complete and utter crap instead of hearing me and holding me. That's why I think a blessing I've got is the ability, and I'm always working on it, because I know people have emotions in them, is my ability that I've really been able, I wouldn't be even able to do this like 2-3 years ago, even when I was coaching people on confidence. I was just giving them strategies, which I did, and it worked to some degree. All right. But the blessing I've had is the ability to really feel and hear what people are saying. Not just this, okay, you're saying that, right, this is what you're going to do about it. We need to create an ability to hold. So what I've done is, it starts with myself. I've got to hold the emotions of myself, right? I have to be able to hold the emotions of myself. And what I did, I screamed into a pillow, and it was intense and it hurt and I wanted to scream and I felt like I was in a life or death situation. Do you know what happened when I finished? I felt so much better. And then I breathed, because when you scream, when you let out anger or stress or rage or anxiety, your system will be very dysregulated. Now you need to regulate it. But it's good that you've got it dysregulated because you've let stuff out. It's what we do in breath work. First half is dysregulating to let stuff out. And then it's about regulating, because if you stay in that dysregulated, you're going to be very on edge. So I always breathe into it. And that really helped me. And I've learned for anxiety, and I've actually made a video yesterday and I was post this and I was in tears. And I may post this later this coming week. But yeah, anxiety, for anger, releasing into something, not at a person, releasing into something. And then if someone has upset me, I'll have that relevant conversation. Anxiety, because often people lash out at others because they're not regulating their own emotions. And it's no judgment, it's just where we are. And I'm just showing my journey. I'm not saying I've got all the answers in these videos. I definitely 100% don't. I'm just showing what is working for me and what's raw for me. Right? And if you offer to speak to me, by the way, and I love you, thank you, and I say no, don't take it personally. It's just because I don't feel comfortable sharing with you, and that's me having self-love for me. Right? It's no personal attack on you. Because often people who've got their own shit and just like feeling really bad and in a really bad place, to make themselves feel bad, they like to take on someone else's problem. And that's beautiful. But it doesn't necessarily mean they've got the ability to hold space for you. Having the intention to and having the ability to are two different things that I've learned. I was speaking to my coach ages ago about this. My last coach, he had the ability. He was so good. And the one before that, actually. Really, really good guys. Where was I going? Anxiety? Yeah, anxiety. How do I experience that? I'm not feeling that so much. I felt more rage. Anxiety for me, I just shake on the floor. I'm just shaking. And it often, nearly always, pretty much always, ends up in me feeling abandonment. Anxiousness comes from a deeper feeling for me of the abandonment. And I felt it yesterday and I was in absolute tears. I was like, I couldn't breathe. I felt suffocated. What that tells me is there's a very sensitive wound there. There's a very sensitive wound in abandonment for me. And I need to process it. It is my job, my responsibility to process it. And it may involve tears. It's getting me a bit emotional now speaking about it. the video I made yesterday, I was just in tears the whole way. But yeah, it was just like, I felt like I was that 3-year-old version of me again. And I was alone. My brother was dying. I was alone in like, a stranger's house, or I was alone at the bus stop when I got lost at a young age. And I got 2 loving parents, but the little boy, he didn't know that. He was lost in himself. And I felt that abandonment, and I just fell into it, and I was in tears. I was bawling. I was just like, I couldn't breathe, and I did it yesterday. And you know what? When I processed it, I felt so much better. Actually feeling a bit relaxed now after I've made this video. I've expressed some stuff. I've allowed myself to feel what I need to feel in the body, because a lot of our emotions are in the body, and people don't account for that. It's like, I just go into the head and journal. I'm all for journaling, by the way. Please, by the way, these positive things I was saying about earlier, I want to be very clear. They are good, right? They are very, very good. I'm definitely for them and feeling stuff, right? So I'm not saying don't journal all these kind of things. Don't say positive things yourself. Do say positive things yourself, like 100% right. What I'm saying though is don't bypass feeling the emotions you need to feel, which is a load of shit that people skip. Influencers. There's a lot of influencers out there who talk, and some of them influencers, you know, like the people who've got hundreds of thousands or millions of followers and people look up to them. You know, there's some who genuinely, you can tell, really worked on their emotions, got their shit together. And then there's others who are very good at like things like the art of business or success, but you can tell there's something not quite right. And then what happens? You, as a person who's working on their emotions or needs some addressing of managing your emotions, follows this person who's also not regulated emotions, gets up at 5 a.m, works hard and hours, and you get exhausted and knackered. I don't believe in the word burnout. I hate that term, but I just think it's about regulating and knowing your body rather than this burnout term. But again, this is just my views and where I'm at. But yeah, like it really puts people off, like, because you might follow a Hormozy or Grant Cardone, and I love those guys, by the way. They're amazing. They're insanely good at what they do. If I want to know how to grow a business and I've like sorted my own stuff out, my psychology, like, and I had all my stuff together, which obviously I don't, because I'd be a millionaire right now otherwise, because it's not a lack of strategy in the world with business. People are like, oh, you need the right strategy. You don't. I personally believe you. I'm going all over the place today, I know, but I think what's out there for free could tell you how to grow a business, or even a book. Like, if you just pay for a book, you know, $10, $20, like all the answers are out there. It's the psychology which holds us back. Like, it's not, and then people selling the strategy, and I don't blame them. I get it. And if I had all my psychology together, I'm going to pay for any kind of strategy. I've paid for strategy in the past. That helps to some degree, but yeah, it's just, if you follow these guys and you've not sorted out your own blocks, you're not going to get their results. Maybe you get slightly close, but you're going to be exhausted. So, and I think it's really important to talk about. So again, this is not, right, some people are going to like these videos, some people aren't. And the people who aren't can stop watching, right? That's fine. I'm not going to be offended at all. Those who resonate with my message and what I'm sharing, because I'm being called to just share what's going on in my men's mental health journey, thank you, right? Also, thank you anyone who's watching, of course, right? But it's like just like my truth, and I'm not here saying this is what you have to do, this is what you should do. I'm a good, because I'm not. I'm just a guy who's being more honest and open on what he's working through, the good and the bad, right? I'm not for everyone. I fall out of people from time to time from being me. I'm pretty proud of like the boundaries and standards I put on myself. You know, I'll name a couple. If me and someone like disagree, I tend to just not connect with them again. Not out of any resentment, but just because I don't want to be connected to that person anymore. If like we got a different path, I've had that in business and dating. Right? It's like if I'm dating someone and she's not into me, not a problem. Um, but it's like I'm sure as hell not going to stay friends with you because that's not what if that wasn't what I was looking for. Right? It's fine if you're not into me romantically, but it's like why would I want to be friends? Like that's just where I am. If I was maybe good friends with her before, like whoever, like the next girl might be or past girl, yeah, maybe that's a bit of a different story. But if I'm going out there romantically, having a romantic interest, and someone's like, I'm not into you, I'm not going to be like, cool, no problem, all right, all the best. I'll work through my emotions. There's probably some wounds that comes up, but it's like I'm not going to stay friends unless that's something I wanted. So it's like, don't take things that you don't want, right? It's like in business, like I remember falling out with uh, some people who I was, really actually good friends with before, and then they did something I disagreed with. And I just said, let's end our relationship here, our business, our professional, and our friendship here. Um, and I just left it and I worked through some of those emotions. So it's like, that's just where I am. And like some people might say, oh, that's a bit wounding. That's just how I feel. Maybe I'll feel different in the future, but it's not invalidating what I want. And I don't, maybe I have done in the past, I'm not going to lie, like lashed out or maybe expressed wrongly. And I won't always get 100% perfect. But just being in my own emotions, what I feel, what I want has really, really helped me. And it sets my standards higher for future of like what I tolerate and what I don't. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to wrap up now. I might make another one. I might redo this. I don't know. I'm trying not to do like the whole I try and take away the word try as well. I'm attempting. That's kind of another version of try. I am with the intention of putting these out as much as possible when I record rather than re-recording them. Yeah, that's where I am. Feeling okay, feeling quite neutral after expressing some anger, not to anyone, just into my pillow. Hope my pillow's okay, of course. And yeah, that's kind of where I am. I swore a bit in this episode, and I don't fucking care. So anyway, this is where I am, and I hope you have an amazing day, wherever you are. And if you're struggling right now, just know that I go through battles too. We all do. Just a lot of people hide it. And you're very strong for sitting with your emotions. So thank you.